The League is about democracy. Democracy first. And it's about my democracy, and it's about your democracy, and it's about everybody's democracy.
The League of Women Voters was founded in 1920, and the reason for its foundation was that women finally, after decades of struggle, had achieved suffrage and had the right to vote. But of course, many women had very little idea about voting because it was for the first time. And the mission of this new organization was to encourage women to vote and to give them the information that they needed to make them informed voters.
We are now a totally integrated, diverse organization. But that came about after, it didn't happen in 1920, because Ida B. Wells, who was one of the journalists during that period, was not allowed to walk in the parade down Pennsylvania Avenue during that time. You know, just put back.
Well, the main role model was my mother, because she was a stay-at-home mom and not very happy at being that. But in those days, that was about the only option for a middle-class woman. And so she spent a great deal of time in activism in the community, and the League was a mainstay. In fact, I think it kept her sane.
I was born into politics, not too far from here. My father was a community activist and organizer, and so I was doing some different works, and one of the past presidents, Loretta Richardson, we were fellow church members, and she got me involved.
And so I grew up hearing about the League and knowing that she and several of the women who were in similar situations back then were really doing a lot of very good work in the community.
I saw two wonderful ladies, Loretta Richardson and Millie Tuskowski. I admired these two ladies so very much. And also Lois Hebel. She and I were co-presidents a couple years back. I admired her too.
Was brought in by a dear friend of mine who I mentored with, and her name was Bridget Jacobson, and do you remember Bridget? And Bridget was a member and just passionate about everything that she did in her life, and I'm tearing up because sadly she passed away from breast cancer in the December of 2019. So every time that I'm here and I'm doing something in the League, I'm doing it in Bridget's memory.
I wanted to be like these ladies because they make a lot of contributions to the League and to the city by the questions they ask and the things that they did. I so admired these people, and I wanted to be kind of like them.
You will find that we stand on the shoulders of each other, and we outreach, so the metaphor of standing on shoulders and having our hands out reaching. And I got involved with it by Flo Valentine, who you've met. She has this shepherd's hook that she just kind of gets you by the neck and brings you in, you know. And so she said, would you like to write an article for the newsletter? And I said, yeah, I can do that.
I went in the phone book and I said, there's something called the League of Women Voters. Let me let them get involved with this election. And so I called them, and sure enough, it was like soldiers. Yes, no problem. We will be there. We will. And I mean, they handled the whole election. No one contested it. It was well done. I said, wow, I'm impressed with this group. I said, you know what? I'm going to have to, when I get some time, I'm going to have to join that, because they came, they were firm, they were correct in what they did, and I said, I am going to join this organization.
And when I came into the League, I connected with their values and their passion about democracy.
To get people interested in voting, you have to tap into what they're interested in.
We have a very nice office, but it's not downtown Baltimore at all. It's in the county, actually.
We needed a location, I'd say more in the inner city, where we could be in touch with, with the voters, with constituents. And so I took a ride down North Avenue, made a right-hand turn onto Greenmount, and as Open Works came into view, I said, this is it. This is the place.
Up to now, we haven't had that. And we also will have a home for having meetings and forums and things.
I love the space. The second you walk into it, you feel happy, you feel lighter, you feel that there's important work going on here, and you feel that it's going on with passion, with positivity, and I like that.
I think we have a good opportunity to reach out to the broader community here.
Remember I said about reaching out? Reaching out to the community to get them involved with the projects that we are involved with, and also those that they want.
Talk to them about the issues that they're concerned with, kitchen table interests that they have with climate change, and with, even with child care, and the police, the different things about reform.
So they could come to us too with ideas or concerns, and maybe we can work together to find solutions for those.
So these connections of us working in the community, connecting with others who are working in the community, in the movement and the keeping of the democracy that affects all of us in this country, because we know that the Constitution gave us the right to vote.
Some of the backlash that I've gotten from people in the libraries is that they don't think their vote counts, and I think that's a big message that we all have to work on, is to make sure that everybody knows that their vote counts.
The thing is, if you as an individual, if you have an idea, if you have a suggestion, if you think that there's something that isn't being done, get in touch with us. We have our eyes and ears always open to suggestions, So get in touch, give us a call, go on the website.
Don't be scared. We are, sometimes I think people are hesitant to jump in because they don't know someone, or they don't know the group, or they just don't know what they don't know.
We want the Baltimore City to know that we are here, and we're vibrant, and we are ready to serve them.
I'm hoping that through our outreaching that we will ignite the passion of voters in this country, as we are experiencing the passion and the fighting that's happening in Ukraine right now.
And how we need to have that passion here to understand that our democracy really is at stake, and there are people across the world that are literally dying for that, and we need to, not that we don't take it more seriously, but I think we need to understand the urgency of it.
So I'm hoping that we, through the League, can ignite that passion and that fight.
Well said.
Well said. All right.